Talk Shoes.
Recorded live.
All right. Black Power, beautiful 48.
Okay, let's go. What's going on, Brother Cole? How are you tonight?
Doing all right. About to just plug in my phone in the charger real quick. Glad to be back on the line. Think Tank Thursday.
How you back? Glad to have you back. You already hit the theme off and everything?
Nah, I just started. We just started live.
Well, Black Power was into the family out there.
Mm-hmm.
Praise that eternal glory to God. Praise Dr. Khallid Muhammad. Black Power. I hope Trevor be before holding that. So we set it off. We got Think Tank Thursday. So what we're gonna be thinking on is two powerful soldiers. Shining Prince and the General. Our brother Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? The Ballot of the Bullet, and our brother Dr. Khallid Muhammad. The bullet or the bullet. And how timely both speeches are in their context. You understand? So that's the main of it, man. I got the man. So
You about to play the Malcolm and the brother Khallid?
No, well, listen, I could play a piece of it. I could do that. I really didn't know how to, because I really wasn't going to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm going to just jump off a little early. But for a little 10 minutes. So, you know what I'm saying? Go from there. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right. About a 15-minute snippet of the beginning. Man.
Yeah.
Then we'll go forth. So, I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to mute everybody else.
Yeah, I'll mute all first and then go from there.
All right, just let me know when mine is open.
All right. All right, your line's open, Brother Bourne.
Mr. Moderator, Reverend Cleave, and Milton, brothers and sisters, friends, and I see some enemies. In fact, I think we'd be fooling ourselves if we had an audience this large and didn't realize that there were some enemies present. This afternoon, we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. But before we get into it, since this is the year of the ballot or the bullet, I would like to clarify some things that refer to me personally concerning my own personal position. I'm still a Muslim. That is, my religion is still Islam. My religion is still Islam. I still credit Mr. Muhammad for what I know and what I am. He's the one who opened my eyes. And at present, I'm the minister of the newly founded Muslim Mosque Incorporated, which has its offices in the Teresa Hotel right in the heart of Harlem. That's the Black Belt in New York City. And when we realize that Adam Clayton Powell is a Christian minister, he has a church, but at the same time, he's more famous for his political struggling. Dr. King is a Christian minister from Atlanta, Georgia, but he's become more famous for being involved in the civil rights struggle. There's another in New York, Reverend Galamison. I don't know if you've heard of him out here. He's a Christian minister from Brooklyn, but has become famous for his fight against the segregated school system in Brooklyn. Reverend Cleave, right here, is a Christian minister here in Detroit. He's the head of the Freedom Now Party. All of these are Christian ministers. All of these are Christian ministers, but they don't come to us as Christian ministers. They come to us as fighters in some other category. I'm a Muslim minister. The same as they are Christian ministers, I'm a Muslim minister. And I don't believe in fighting today in any one front, but on all fronts. In fact, I'm a black nationalist freedom fighter. Islam is my religion, but I believe my religion is my personal business. It governs my personal life, my personal morals. And my religious philosophy is personal between me and the God in whom I believe. Just as the religious philosophy of these others is between them and the God in whom they believe. And this is best this way. Were we to come out here discussing religion, we'd have too many differences from the outstart, and we could never get together. So today, though Islam is my religious philosophy, my political, economic, and social philosophy is black nationalism. You and I, as I say, if we bring up religion, we'll have differences, we'll have arguments, we'll never be able to get together. But if we keep our religion at home, keep our religion in the closet, keep our religion between ourselves and our God, but when we come out here, we have a fight that's common to all of us against the enemy who is common to all of us. The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that the black man should control the politics and the politicians in his own community. The time when white people can come in our community and get us to vote for them so that they can be our political leaders and tell us what to do and what not to do is long gone. By the same token, the time when that same white man, knowing that your eyes are too far open, can send another Negro into the community, get you and me to support him so he can use him to lead us astray, those days are long gone. The political philosophy of black nationalism only means that if you and I are going to live in a black community, and that's where we're going to live, because as soon as you move into one of their, as soon as you move out of the black community into their community, it's mixed for a period of time, but they're gone, and you're right there all by yourself. We must understand the politics of our community. And we must know what politics is supposed to produce. We must know what politics play in our lives. And until we become politically mature, we will always be misled, led astray, or deceived or maneuvered into supporting someone politically who doesn't have the good of our community at heart. So the political philosophy of black nationalism only means that we will have to carry on a political program of re-education, to open our people's eyes, make us become more politically conscious, politically mature. And then we will, whenever we get ready to cast our ballot, that ballot will be cast for a man of the community who has the good of the community at heart. And the economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we should own and operate and control the economy of our community. You would never find, you can't open up a black store in a white community. White man won't even patronize you. And he's not wrong. He got sense enough to look out for himself. And you who don't have sense enough to look out for yourself. The white man is too intelligent to let someone else come and gain control of the economy of his community. But you will let anybody come in and control the economy of your community, control the housing, control the education, control the jobs, control the businesses under the pretext that you want to integrate. No, you're out of your mind. The economic philosophy of black nationalism only means that we have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled, misguided, are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man. The man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a rundown community. Why, you run it down yourself, then you take your dollar out. And you and I are in a double track, because not only do we lose by taking our money someplace else and spending it, when we try and spend it in our own community, we're trapped because we haven't had sense enough to set up stores and control the businesses of our community. The man who's controlling the stores in our community is a man who doesn't look like we do. He's a man who doesn't even live in the community. So you and I, even when we try and spend our money in the block where we live or the area where we live, we're spending it with a man who, when the sun goes down, takes that basket full of money in another part of the town. So we're trapped, double trapped, triple trapped. Anywhere we go, we find that we're trapped. And every kind of solution that someone comes up with is just another trap. But the political and economic philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism shows our people the importance of setting up these little stores and developing them and expanding them into larger operations. Woolworths didn't start out big like they are today. They started out with a dime store and expanded and expanded and expanded until today they're all over the country and all over the world, and they're getting some of everybody's money. Now, this, what you and I in General Motors, the same way, didn't start out like it is. It started out just a little rat race type operation, and it expanded and expanded until today it's where it is right now. And you and I have to make a start. And the best place to start is right in the community where we live. So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community. And once you can create some employment in the community where you live, it will eliminate the necessity of you and me having to act ignorantly and disgracefully, boycotting and picketing some cracker someplace else, trying to beg him for a job. Anytime you have to rely upon your enemy for a job, you're in bad shape. And he is your enemy. Anytime you wouldn't be in this country if some enemy hadn't kidnapped you and brought you here. On the other hand, some of you think you came here on the Mayflower. So as you can see, brothers and sisters, today, this afternoon, it's not our intention to discuss religion. We're going to forget religion. If we bring up religion, we'll be in an argument. And the best way to keep away from arguments and differences, as I said earlier, put your religion at home, in the closet. Keep it between you and your God. Because if it hasn't done anything more for you than it has, you need to forget it anyway. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a nationalist, we all have the same problem. They don't hang you because you're a Baptist, they hang you because you're black. They don't attack me because I'm a Muslim, they attack me because I'm black. They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century, 1964, and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed. This is part of what's wrong with you. You do too much singing. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. You can't sing up on freedom, but you can swing up on some freedom. Cassius Clay can sing, but singing didn't help him to become the heavyweight champion of the world. Swinging helped him. But this government has failed us. The government itself has failed us. And the white liberals who have been posing as our friends have failed us. And once we see that all these other sources to which we turn have failed, we stop turning to them and turn to ourselves. We need a self-help program. Do it yourself philosophy. Do it right now philosophy. It's already too late philosophy. This is what you and I need to get with. And the only way we're going to solve our problem is with a self-help program. Before we can get a self-help program started, we have to have a self-help philosophy. Black nationalism is a self-help philosophy. What's so good about it, you can stay right in the church where you are and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can stay in any kind of civic organization that you belong to and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. You can be an atheist and still take black nationalism as your philosophy. This is a philosophy that eliminates the necessity for division and argument. Because if you're black, you should be thinking black. And if you're black and you're not thinking black at this late date, well, I'm sorry for you. Once you change your philosophy, you change your thought pattern. Once you change your thought pattern, you change your attitude. Once you change your attitude, it changes your behavior pattern. And then you go on into some action. As long as you got a sit-down philosophy, you'll have a sit-down thought pattern. And as long as you think that old sit-down thought, you'll be in some kind of sit-down action. They'll have you sitting in everywhere. It's not so good to refer to what you're going to do as a sit-in. That right there castrates you. Right there it brings you down. What goes with it? Think of the image of someone sitting. An old woman can sit. An old man can sit. A chump can sit. A coward can sit. Anything can sit. Well, you and I have been sitting long enough, and it's time today for us to start doing some standing and some fighting to back that up. When we look at other parts of this earth upon which we live, we find that black, brown, red, and yellow people in Africa and Asia are getting their independence. They're not getting it by singing, "We shall overcome." No, they're getting it through nationalism. It is nationalism that brought about the independence of the people in Asia. Every nation in Asia gained its independence through the philosophy of nationalism. Every nation on the African continent that has gotten its independence brought it about through the philosophy of nationalism. And it will take black nationalism that to bring about the freedom of 22 million Afro-Americans here in this country where we have suffered colonialism for the past 400 years.
Black Power. Black Power. That was 17 minutes of fire from our dear brother, the Silent Prince, Malcolm X. Shot another bullet. Go to call. Black Power, you out there? Black Power. Y'all lost.
Black Power.
All right. Black Power. What's going on, Queen? I had to come sneak in for a couple minutes You know, try to put in a couple clips for the family real quick before I have to adjourn.
Black power to you, King. It's right on time, and it's, wonderful to hear you, at the helm.
Well, I know you put in some work on this project right here. We was gonna play a little clip from Malcolm's the Ballot of the Bullet, and then play the intro for Brother Khallid.
Ashe.
We can play both of their intros.
I think it's timely to do a compare and contrast, considering we're on another presidential election in 2016. The Malcolm speech was 1964. Dr. Khallid Muhammad was 1996. And that's 20 years from where we at right now. So it's very interesting. And then, the Malcolm speech is 52 years. So it's interesting to see what they're both are saying and where there's similarities and differences, and where there are similarities in our time and differences that are going on in this time as opposed to those two time periods. Black power.
Okay. Brother Cole's controlling the board. So he got you in here, so I guess he's still in the board right now.
Black power, Brother Cole.
I don't know who else out there. I'm blind right now. But what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna play this intro to Dr. Khallid.
U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate. And despite all of that and all of the fallout from that, he has not blinked. He has not wavered. He has not taken one single step in a direction. You all know who I'm talking about. You've come out here tonight to greet him, to show support for him, to demonstrate your love for Dr. Khallid Muhammad. Dr. Khallid. All right.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the world. We forever give thanks and praise to Almighty God for coming, as it was written in the sacred scriptures that he would come, to seek and to save that which was lost. We can find no other people fitting the description of the lost brother, the lost sister, or the lost sheep, except we, the 50 million or more, mentally and spiritually dead, black men and black women here in the hells of North America. So we thank him for coming in the person of Master Khallid Muhammad, for raising up his messenger and his Messiah to the black man and black woman here in the hells of North America and throughout the world. I speak of none other than the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And in the name of the man who is my spiritual father, who is my teacher, who has been my mentor, who is responsible largely for my spiritual rites of passage, I speak of none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names, I greet you with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Shalom. Ya Lafayette. Black laws for all black people. Free the land. For others, what's up? It's indeed my honor to be black again at this great forum of the United African Movement, spearheaded by the dynamic and divine leadership, one who is tireless and relentless in our midst, one who is well acquainted with controversy, well acquainted with adversity, well acquainted with injustice, well acquainted with the oppression and the attempted repression of the enemy, but one who will not bow down and will not be bought, Attorney Alton Maddox. My subject this evening, I will cover many topics under this subject, but with us standing on the threshold of the national election. It was 30 years ago that Minister Malcolm X, great and dynamic national spokesman for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his message to the grassroots, he spoke to the grassroots of our people. And tonight I want to speak to the grassroots, to those who are in the dirt, those who are in the muck and the mire and the mud of the white man's world. 30 years ago, Malcolm said it was a case of the chickens coming home to roost. And tonight, I want to tell you that 30 years later, it's a case of the chickens coming home to roast. Malcolm's subject 30 years ago on the threshold of a national election was the ballot or the bullet. And my subject 30 years later on the threshold of a national election is the bullet or the bullet. That's my subject here tonight. The bullet or the bullet. You don't have no other choice. Some of you are waiting around. You were glued to the television screen watching these two no-good crackers debate just a few nights ago. And you are trying to make up your mind which peck of wood you're going to vote for. This is the year of the bullet or the bullet. You don't have no choice. One cracker named Bill Clinton, nicknamed Slick Willie. Would you buy a used car from a cracker named Slick Willie? An adulterer. Huh? Doesn't even live up to the standards of his own nation. A draft dodger. A dopehead. A cracker who gets high and then wants to fool you and hoodwink you and tell you, I didn't inhale. A dopehead. An adulterer, and one who doesn't even follow the standards of his own people, a draft dodger. Slick Willie. lied to you 4 years ago, still lying to you 4 years later. And another cracker, an old, wrinkled, crippled, crazy cracker. Cracker with a funny hand, shaking people's hand with his left hand. And you talking about voting for this cracker, some of you for president, and the damn Peckerwood can't even stay on the stage. The cracker fell off the goddamn stage. Fell out in the audience. Can you imagine you're supposed to get off of Air Force One and salute the Marine Corps and salute the honor guard when you step off the plane? Now, what will this cracker do with this funny hand? What is he going to do? Get off the plane and try to throw up a salute with that funny hand? Some of you say, why be so personal? Why not attack the man's policy? Why not attack the platform that the man stands on? Don't deal with the man's personal life. Don't deal with him. Deal with his policy. Well, I'm a military scientist. And in military science and military strategy, you don't just attack the tank. You attack the fueling depot that the tank depends on. You don't just attack the train. You attack the track that the train runs on. You don't just try to deal with the cracker once the bomber plane is in the air. You attack that which is responsible for giving the plane what is necessary in its power and energy to lift up off the ground. And so I attack the cracker too, and its policy. You talking about civil rights. Ain't no damn civil rights. The cracker ain't never been civil, and he ain't never been right. You talking about, well, what about human rights? The cracker ain't human, and he ain't never been right. It's the year of the bullet or the bullet. You either deal or die. You either fight back or get destroyed. You either get on the right side or it's genocide. It's the year of the bullet or the bullet. You've been voting for crackers ever since they allowed you to vote. And tonight we want to cover some of the history here. The history teaches us that from 1870 to 1901, blacks served in the various states as congressmen and sat in every Congress from the 41st to the 56th, with one exception. Says they were brilliant men. They were great orators. In fact, during the period of Reconstruction, we were mayors, we were sheriffs, we were senators, we were congressmen, and even B.K. Bruce was in the Treasury Department, and his signature was on all paper money in America. No matter how racist a cracker was, a big pot-bellied, beer-billy, snuff-dipping, tobacco-chewing, straw-chewing, overall-wearing Peckerwood, no matter how much he hated niggers, he had to handle currency and money that had the signature of a black man in the Treasury Department on it. What is my point? During Reconstruction, it looked like a period of political prosperity. It looked like we were going to make it. As the historians say, we had good jobs working for ourselves. Many of us had good farmland. We were making what was called good money, and we were in high position. But when the white man decided that he was through with niggers being in political office, then no matter how many elected positions we had, no matter how much money we had, no matter how much land we had, no matter what we had. White men stood in the door of Congress. They were armed in the door of Congress. And they said, no more nigger senators coming through these doors. They went to the floor of the Senate and the Congress, stood in the door armed to make sure that we didn't enter those what they call portals, the government of the United States of America. They went to the sheriff's office. Crackers stood armed, shotguns, pistols, big beer belly Peckerwood, standing outside. And the black sheriff showed up at the sheriff's office. He was elected by the people. When the black sheriff showed up at the sheriff's office, crackers armed and cocked their guns on him. And all you could hear was the staccato of the cocking of their weapons on him, saying, nigga, you're not the sheriff no more. We got a new sheriff in town. Big Bubba here. Big Bubba's the sheriff now, nigga. He said, but I was duly elected by the people. And he said, nigga, you better get on rest here, nigga. Or Big Bubba here gonna rest you, nigga. You ain't the sheriff here no more, nigga. We taking the law back into our own hands, nigga. It looked like a period of political prosperity. Civil Rights Act, Voter Rights Act. Johnson sitting down penning the Civil Rights Act of 1964. If the Civil Rights Act was what was written on the paper, then Martin Luther King and those who would come after him would not have to fight so hard if it had meant anything. If the Voting Rights Bill had meant anything during Reconstruction, then Fannie Lou Hamer and others wouldn't have had to fight so hard coming behind the Voting Rights Bill. What am I saying here tonight? I'm taking an unpopular position, which is not new for me. I'm saying that separation is the best and only solution. I'm saying, as a reminder to you, that we must have a nation of our own. Because every time we vote together in a solid block, I know what Malcolm said to you 30 years ago. And all the great that Malcolm did, Malcolm was feeling, Malcolm was studying and searching and digging and researching and finding himself. So Malcolm said, in such matters, vote in a solid block. He talked about the Democrat and the Dixiecrat. He talked about, stop talking about the South, he said. Anytime you south of the Canadian border, Malcolm said, you in the South. Malcolm said it's no democracy, nothing but disguised hypocrisy. No American dream, nothing but an American nightmare. The Supreme Court has passed down new rulings now in various states across the country, striking down what is called majority-minority voting districts. Striking down majority-minority voting districts. What does that mean? It means a district that has a great population of black people who have gone out and registered to vote and who believe that they have real power because they've registered to vote. Let me stop for a minute. I am proud to say that I am not registered to vote. I have never voted. And when a strong black candidate comes along, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight, a black candidate who is not afraid of the white man, a black candidate who comes in the mold of Adam Clayton Powell Jr., a black candidate who has sat at the feet of Adam Clayton Powell Jr. If a bold black candidate comes along, Then the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad says such candidates should have the total backing of the black nation, that all of us should get behind such a candidate as that. But to get behind some glorified shower curtain and pull a lever for one cracker over another cracker, another Pinocchio-eared cracker named Perot. Here's a cracker that has lied so much his nose won't grow, his damn ears grow. For the candidates, Satan, the devil, Lucifer, and with Buchanan running, Buchanan, that's who he is, Satan, the devil, Lucifer, and Beelzebub. And either one you vote for, you're going to still end up catching hell. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad never told us to vote for a white man. He said we should find the right qualifications in a black candidate. One again who is not afraid of the white man and who will stand up for reparations and who will stand up for the freedom and independence of our people and will not back down from the white man.
Black power.
Black power.
All right. Well, that's a piece from the bullet of the opening from Dr. Muhammad. And you see, he gave homage to, Brother Malcolm. But we listened to a clip of that earlier. And so, the mic is open. It's open for the family, man. I'm just up here just trying to put these little clips in real fast. And I'm off in the background in the shadows.
Okay. Somebody done went to sleep.
We got
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
We got some type of feedback going on from somebody in line.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm finna hang up a car back.
All right. Everybody else, whoever on the line, can y'all just just give me a little, say something so we can know what time it is. I'll share something.
All right. This brother calls.
Black power be before the Sister Camille.
Right, that's Sister Camille. That's your line, Sister Camille. That's you?
Black power.
But it wasn't doing that earlier, so who else on the line? Brother Cole, who else on the line? Somebody else on the line?
Race first.
All right.
Yeah, it's Sister Nakia. That's me.
I don't know which one it is. Because was she
So I just hung up and called back in. Was he doing it while I was gone?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't. Was she in when Sister Camille was talking?
Black power.
It's not Sister Camille's right clear.
Queen, say something.
I put the phone on mute to see.
Oh, it's clear now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now it's clear. Everybody's in. All right, Sister Camille, come on and kick it off for us. Get the people minds right on what they're listening to.
Well, Black Power again to the family. With the first piece that Brother Bourne played was great ancestor Malcolm, his speech in 1964, the Ballot or the Bullet, and then he played the great ancestor Dr. Khallid Muhammad's speech, the Bullet or the Bullet in 1996. And I think it's like I said earlier, it's timely because both of those speeches were dealing with the election that was pending and where we were as a people. And I feel that both of them, at the center of both of them was it's either black nationalism or it's destruction, and I felt that both of the ancestors really, in their own way, were saying, if you go on, particularly the ancestor Malcolm said, if you go and vote, then you have to vote as a block. Now, if that's not possible, then it's foolish to even participate in the political charade that is in the society, understanding that, they both are the same people. They racist crackers. They both are pushing that same agenda, white supremacy, our oppression. Both acknowledged that we were still enslaved, which is another thing that I thought was important, too. So being enslaved, what weight do your vote really carry? I mean, it's really, to me, like playing, again, a mind-fuck game, you know what I'm saying? If we can't move as a block, dividing the illusion that there's two separate parties, and in the way it is, I mean, white people or the cracker beasts is unified when it comes to their domination of us. But in terms of which family or group rocks out in the lead, that may, in terms of how their rulership over us is how it is manifest, that's where they have their division. So if we can't move as a block and exploit that, again, it's foolish to even vote, as Brother Malcolm said. And if you heard the entire speech, for those that heard the entire speech of Dr. Khallid Muhammad before, he showed what Malcolm also showed that, the Reconstruction period happened, right? And so you had people in office, African people and brothers in office and whatnot for a minute, and we were prospering. But, when they was ready to flip it, in that time period, at the end of the Reconstruction period, at the end of 1877, they used weapons and force and might because, that kind of behavior was still fresh. They hadn't yet perfected the mass that they got on today, where Dr. Khallid Muhammad shows that they then use the law or the illusion of the law to remove black elected officials and really ushering in, I feel, are the beginnings of the end of this second Reconstruction period. And so we are confronted with an illusion of an election again. And, we really got conned the last 12 years when they put a black face on it, because that was the one thing that every African would say, never in this country will they ever have that. So they tried to mind-fuck us even harder by putting Obama up there, who has been horrific. It's under Obama that we have seen the murder of African people, males in particular, men and boys. I mean, I'm really starting to wonder if it's been more than it has when it was in 1996 with Dr. Khallid Muhammad. Despite us having more media today, because it seems like it's like every day now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was every day then, and I'm just not aware of those figures yet. But, this is what Obama there. And nobody ever cares about our issues. Something that Malcolm brought up in 1964, Dr. Khallid Muhammad, 1996, and here we are in 2016. Nobody gives a fuck about nothing when it comes to our oppression. Neither that cracker beast bitch Hillary ain't gonna do shit. Neither is the cracker beast Trump. I mean, they're all of the same coin at the end of the day to keep white supremacy going. And we got to make a decision. white supremacy can only go at our expense, at our continued slaughter and oppression. So we have to decide as a people, are we going to continue to play the charades and vote, and seeing that it has done nothing? It means absolutely nothing. Just like Malcolm said, holding on to your religion. I mean, at the end of the day, what has it done for us? Nothing. It ain't changed shit. So I'm for us not voting, and I feel the same thing on the local level, because we have black people that want to say, well, it works on a local level. Well, no, because they can do redistricting. Okay? At the end of the day, the sheriff gets the votes. They go to the precinct. All right? So if they want to change it, they can change it, as Dick Gregory showed in 1968 when he ran for president and got 9 million votes mysteriously in Florida. It wasn't supposed to go to him. They fucked up. It was supposed to go to Richard Nixon, but it went to him. And this is 4 years after the speech in 1964 by Brother Malcolm. Black Power. I know I went on, family. Thank y'all for letting me go on like that.
Black Power.
Black Power. Sister Camille. You know, you got a lot to give to the people. Shit. That was a nice little history lesson. Sister McKee, I know you got something to add on.
You know, I've listened to that Dr. Khallid speech several times. It was my fifth, sixth time, maybe more. You know, and each time it reinforces, you know, the reason why I'm not about voting. And another thing that he didn't really he didn't mention was about the electoral college. And I'll try my best to explain in one ear and out the other. I even try to use that Al Gore situation. And it seems like people just want to go. They just want to. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Al Gore, the popular vote, doesn't really mean anything. That means you go on to vote in this presidential election holds no power if the Electoral College decides otherwise. So the analogy I like to use is, you know, when you was younger and your parents used to let you pretend you driving, and, you know, used to kind of guide you, you know what I'm saying, be turning the wheel, you know, they help you guide the wheels, but it's them that's pushing the brakes and pushing the gas. You're not doing nothing. But you think you driving, you ain't going nowhere. That's the same way I see with the election. And then to add on what Sister Camille was saying about on the local level, you know, they had a lobbyist. I was looking at when I was taking my political class in college, and they had a graph that showed that you can pretty much predict who's gonna win the election by how much money that they put into the campaign, like how much money they spend. Mm-hmm. It's basically who wins. I was looking at that. I was just looking at a lot of other things that's just, I mean, it's useless. At this point in time, I'm on the separation. You know, we get our own form of government, I don't even want to copy it off of theirs. Our own, you know, whatever works for us.
Yeah, we got to separate. The more we're around them, the more we like them.
Yep.
And we so far down in the hole. We just crazy. And we're going to have to fight them. But we got to get away so we can get ourselves together for a little bit. We need to get ourselves together for a little bit. You know, whenever it jump off, it jump off. So be prepared for the fight at any time. But as a people, we do need some distance from these motherfuckers for a second.
I say.
They like vampires.
I say on that too, and I say on your previous comments as well, Queen. I mean, one of the things I like that Brother Malcolm said, it's interesting that both of them said in their time period that the generations preceding them was about that fight.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it had me wondering, first, what has happened to that? That's one way to look at it if you want to go that road. But then, I can look at our time period right now and see, indeed the generations behind them have that fight. It depends on how you look at it, what perspective you want to look at it, because in 2016, there is no Malcolm X per se, persona, or Dr. Khallid Muhammad. Would everybody agree with that on the line?
I say.
That's right.
And yet, we got the young people in the street, do we not?
Yep.
That is something that is different from those two time periods.
They still got the energy and the spirit. They come in, and plus, that energy going in a circle. So they still got that spirit. You know what I mean? Then they got, then they can look ahead and they can see what was happening before them.
I say. And it makes it unique because instead of there being that quote unquote leader and then the people coming, it is the people moving without that quote unquote black leader. And that is something that is different, and it could be also a continuation from what they had sown, them talking about the generations behind them coming that is not going to give a damn, where, jail, you can think that they're talking about their time period, but we know that in our time period that we have young people who are not afraid of jail because they have already been there, and because, as the ancestor said, they see their life as being a jail.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man, we just seen jail. Nobody's scared of going to jail. I don't know nobody who's scared of going to jail. You know what I'm saying? When you get older, you be more cautious. You don't want to go, but you ain't scared to be in there. You know what I mean? So you can't scare the youth with jail. You can't scare them with killing them because they know that they don't put out the stigma that your life is over as soon as you leave this house. You know what I mean? That shit is on us so hard that cats don't, they not really looking to live for so long. They ain't really looking to live past 18, 19, 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't even really having dreams like that. Like, you know how back in the day, cats didn't have a dream. They want to be such and such when they grow up. That's they ain't even think about no when I grow up shit. I'm living right now.
And that's real talk. And what is that seizure? I don't know what the fuck wrong with the Hillary Clinton bitch. I know something wrong with her, but is she speaking to those issues? No. Is Trump, who, got the picture, Brother Minkarow put the picture with his parents with their Klan uniform on, and he hugged up with him, and, he got the chick suing him for having sex with her when she was a teenager, 13 or some shit, and the Central Park shit, and Hillary, they got the plantations in Haiti, abusing our people there, as well as her husband, with the increase of our brothers going to prison, the welfare laws making it seem like it was only our sisters on it, you know what I'm saying, making it hard on them, while the wealthy get the ultimate welfare under his reign. All kind of foul shit he did while he was the governor, and she stood by him. She never blinked an eye. She's not even right now saying he was wrong with his policies, how his policies increased the incarceration rate unfairly of African men, hunting them down like prey, the suffering of black families under his 8 years, nothing. So anybody that would vote for either one of them that's African, you know, you're asleep, right? Severely. You know, I don't want, you know, brother, the ancestor, Dr. Khallid Muhammad and Malcolm really got hard with it and called you what you really was, but you know, I'm not, you know, I have, you know, the influence of Dr. Amos Wilson, so that's why I'm not so hard with it at this moment. I got a little sympathy for it on a certain level, but you gotta look at the shit for what it is. You're not speaking to our issues they never had. Nobody has. Fannie Lou Hamer, look what she went through, and for what? What? Makers ever got murdered for what? So the least we could do is, you know, become awake, recognize it's a game, give them the big middle finger, and don't vote as a whole motherfucking block.
Yeah, that's power.
Yeah,
A lot of
boycotting the
times
vote.
we do things like, I guess what I'm hearing a lot is, you know what I'm saying, well, they died so we can vote, so we should vote, and, you know, it's disrespectful for us not to vote, and that's giving up, and, you know, it's like, I be telling people, man, I mean, I don't feel like it's no disrespect to them, you know what I'm saying, to say that they were wrong. They were wrong. So we gonna keep on doing the wrong thing just because somebody else did the wrong thing and they died for it. You feel like that's fucking retarded.
My power.
Listen, right? When I look at that shit, right, talking about something, they died for your right to vote. I'm like, listen, man, they died so I can have a chance to vote or not to vote because that's my right. They wanted to make sure that I had the right to do it if I wanted to, but I got the right also not to do it if I don't feel like it. So, there wasn't no one or the other. It's just so you can have that free choice to do it if you feel like going down there to the poll. It's about the free choice. That's what the real fight was about. To me, if you want to talk about some right to vote. Besides that, please, man, fuck off with all that respect to some ancestors behind that shit. Hey, please, the motherfuckers gave us the right to vote so we could vote Democrat. Niggas told us we're going to be voting Democrat for the next 200 years, and that's what the fuck we doing. That's why they gave us the right to vote, so the Democrats could stay in office. Fuck us over.
Same.
Black Power, a.k.a. former slave masters. A.k.a. still slave masters. Let's keep it 100.
A.k.a. the goddamn people who created the KKK.
Black Power.
To do what Brother Malcolm was talking about, to keep us out of the goddamn Senate and the Congress.
Ashe. And let's build on it. 52 years later, he talked about the condition of our community in terms of economics and political power, right? We still got strangers in our community that we give our dollar to who don't live in our community, who don't give nothing to our community. In fact, Brother Born, Black Power to you because you're actually rolling up on them and making it happen. Brother Malcolm would be proud. Again, something that is different. You're an example of us moving forward. But as a whole, though, those conditions, we got to be real, still exist. So what was the point of having black people in the Congress? What's the point of having black mayors? What's the point of having black councilmen and women? What's the point of this? Huh?
And we still got nothing.
Nada.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we looking worse off. Less land. Less income. We're looking worse and worse. We latch on to the Democrats.
And you say Democrats, they had to know black Democrats on top of that, and forget, cracker-beef Democrats. Democrats, as Brother Malcolm broke down, were the Dixiecrats. These were the racists.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The cracker-beefs who wanted, who mad that, on the Confederate side didn't win the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. So if black people gonna be voting, they'll be voting for us. And we roll with it, locked down.
I wonder what will it take, though, for our people to. What would it take for our people to go on and say fuck it? If they ain't went on to say it fuck it by now, then it just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's gonna take.
Other black people to just stop fucking with it. We gotta make a movement. Black people stop fucking with it. See black people separating, not fucking with it. They're gonna be like, oh shit, and you winning? As long as you winning with what you're doing, they're gonna want to separate too. They're gonna look good. As long as it look good, and as long as you happy and y'all motherfuckers happy, it's gonna look good. So niggas just want to be around other niggas to be happy. That don't mean you ain't training, but you just want to have a peace of mind at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Check. And I think, too, it's like Brother Malcolm said, you have, at the same time, your own people misleading you and misguiding you. So that plays a role in it, too. You got your own people pushing integration.
That plays a major role in it.
Brother Malcolm had the decency in 1964 to call them our enemy, to acknowledge that we are kidnapped victims. What African, quote unquote, or black leader out here talking like that or saying something as real as what it is? Because that's the reality of it. That's how we got here. Okay? And I don't care if, your parents are from the Caribbean, because how did they get there?
I say.
Let's stop playing. Let's get out of the fog that we've been led into by black traitorous leaders, because that's been the case. Leaders, teachers, there have been black teachers. I've had black teachers.
Yo.
What's that curriculum and shit?
Oh, man. Did y'all read the article by Brother Little? Remember when I read a quote by the CIA motherfucking head who said that his job wouldn't be complete. The first year in office, he said his job wouldn't be complete until all the information that we knew was like disinformation was false. Get the quote from this bracket.
I remember when you said that.
And these niggas control the motherfucking books and everything that come out, man. They write the history. They control all the narratives because they here. We're not outside the country to see what the fuck going on. We get told the narrative here. So unless you got it mouth to ear, you can't trust nothing they're saying.
Ashe.
Yeah.
And I think on that too, you even see when we was going over the stolen legacy, as the family was going over the stolen legacy, you know, we see parts that was different in some than others. I mean, the man got killed. He wasn't here to make them changes.
Huh? Who made the changes?
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you got to go to the source of all things.
I say.
That's how you know for sure.
You think of something. I have to check out some of these black publishing companies. See how they. I know they got to send a copy to the copyright office. I know they do. That'd be interesting. Now, anyway, back to the subject at hand. Dr. Khallid Muhammad, Brother Malcolm X, dealing with the Ballot of the Bullet, with our brother Malcolm, and our brother Khallid dealing with the bullet of the bullet. And right now, you know, dealing with the upcoming election, as we see, we got one given seizure, so we got another handicapped one. You know what I'm saying? She's falling out, seizures all over the place. We don't know if it's a clone. She's all messed up. She's all messed up right now. So, we got her, and we got this motherfucker with the golden silk fox on top of his head. Donald Gump over here just acting the fool, so people had to vote for Hillary because she can't win on her own. She's dumb as hell. So they got black people fighting in between who they're going to vote for. When you vote for the two goddamn dumb and dumb. Then black people added me to a group. Black people even going for a small hat too. This small hat named Jill Stein. There's a hat out there. I don't know what party. But whatever party it is, it's going to make no difference. It's already compromised. Because the parties come together to vote on, to help push votes towards a small hat. Anybody want to add on? We'll leave the mic cold. Or someone put another 2 more clips in it.
Yeah, I think one thing, man, that Brother Malcolm made very clearly, you know, how important the black vote is, you know what I'm saying? And whenever white folks is split amongst each other, as far as, is y'all hearing that echo?
Yes, sir.
Ashe.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm hearing it too. One thing.
What I was trying to say was, what Malcolm clearly stated was when white people is divided amongst each other on a certain topic, it's the black decision it's the black votes that make that decision, to make the final decision. You know what I'm saying? And that made me think about Brother Mikarai, where he's talking about how you can use the divide and conquer shit and get the division shit tactics against their ass, you know what I'm saying? Because they really ain't all together like how they try to front. You feel me? But I know that ain't got nothing to do with that, but shit. I felt what Malcolm was saying right there was that, at the end of the day, they really needing us to make the decisions for them, you know what I'm saying? And a nigga, our votes is, like he say, our vote is ignorant. It's an ignorant vote because we don't really know what the fuck is really going on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
Brother Bourne, is it my line?
I don't know. Brother
I'm
Cole is checking the line once and twice.
Black power.
Brother Tom. All right. You got it right now?
Yeah, it should be all right. All right. Sister Camille, you good?
Black Power.
There was a question that was posed on the last show, on the slaughterhouse last Saturday, and it had to do with, a lot of times we focus on the youth. Sometimes there's not any focus on, older adults. And so when you look at the political situation, I don't know. I think older adults are more equipped to deal with the politics from a kind of immediate perspective. You already dealing with it. Let's say if you're in your 20s or your 30s, you pay tax for everything you get. You working and your money's going into this shit. And so it's different for a young person who's not necessarily fully synchronized into the system yet. I think that the issue sometimes lacks with political education for the youth, and more so just polishing up an adult's understanding of the politics, because most people believe what they were taught about the politics on television, even after the fact that,
if you're in the school system, they do hammer you with a lot of that information. The flag, the geography, all the basis for the United States is 100% kind of program they give everybody. But what most Black Americans end up with is still a different political perspective than white people. So they're more proud. They're more proud about the structure and the Constitution and the amendments. They're more proud about that because there's some level of ownership they can claim to that. But I think it's hard to get our people to be, I'll say, more militant, as militant-minded politically as they need to be, because it's not really attached to them in a beneficial way. Just at the ground level, So, like, voting is just a chore almost for Black folk.
Pretty much. Pretty much. It's something that they tell you should do. Shit. Talking about the mind of the youth, man. Shit, coming out of what age you straight coming out of high school right there. You know what I'm saying? And they're not ready to punch you with this shit, talk about your people died for your right to vote and shit. And all you get to see about the shit is what's on TV. And I don't know, man. I look at the shit like, goddamn, man. I mean, you see how many niggas came out to vote for Obama. We got a black man in the goddamn office. Shit. I mean, he ain't did shit for a nigga. So goddamn,
I'll say this: I've seen this particular election be it's divisive. It's divisive amongst Black people, at least where I'm located at. Like, people are gonna vote anyway, right? Because they got that right. But the issue and dilemma is who to pick. Now, even somebody new to politics, as far as participating in the voting process, has a understanding of who both people are historically. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so what end up happening is, like, I had a conversation last week, and one brother set it off because what was this week? Because the debate happened. So the next day it was like Monday after Sunday football and shit, and everybody split down the middle now. They got to hear Donald Trump, so you got a different kind of confidence. I guess I hear a lot of Black folk talk about jobs because Donald Trump is a businessman and whatnot. So they more so falling into what they've traditionally been exposed to relating to these white folk. And then with the Hillary thing, a lot of people can relate to her based on the fact that Bill Clinton is her husband. But that, so for that, what white folks want Black people to how they want us to be affected, we are actually we're being affected exactly how they want us to be. They need us to participate. They need us to participate to an extent, but they don't need us to have a consciousness other than the one they want us to have relating to these particular people. So you got Black folk that now might have worked in a damn hotel for Donald Trump and shit. You know what I'm saying? Their perspective about this motherfucker is gonna be different. Their perspective about him is gonna be different than somebody who he don't write the checks for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we have no investment in either candidate outside of some sort of financial interaction. You know what I mean? Whether you was a part of a program or that they funded or some shit at some point in our lives or whatever. But we have no investment in either candidate. And I don't even think we had any investment in Obama, even outside of, how many Black folks voted. We didn't have nothing we just did it because of that, because we had the opportunity to do so. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's a black man right there.
Yeah, he's a black man revolting.
Most people never thought they really would see that during their lifetime.
Yeah, and I was gonna say if black folk had to wait another 20 years, we still was gonna vote every election.
Goddamn right.
Well, they have fallen for the con that makes you a citizen without looking at the reality of the indignity that we have to suffer. That no other group has to suffer here. We're the only group that has to have our right to vote renewed every 20 years. That's like the ultimate disrespect.
That's what I was gonna.
eat. I'm sorry, Pete.
That's all right. Nah, that's all right. I was gonna say, that's what the whole "Make America Great Again" is about. It's about black people reminding or trying to remember a time where black folks and white folks got along just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so what's crazy is in the midst of the 60s and all the turmoil and such that was going on, the laws that were passed seem, we treat that, like you said, we treat that like it's like that's a peace offering or something. You get what I'm saying? Despite the conditions that forced us to even come, I won't even say forced, that brought forth those supposed laws being created. So, kind of ignored all the killing and murdering and shit. If some legislation passed, Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
You see, they won't even like you to say nothing about no injustice if you ain't voted. First thing they'll say, did you vote? You ain't vote for, so how you ain't making no change? What the fuck? You know what I'm talking about? Goddamn, what the fuck they got to do with nothing?
Or the fact of all the years of voting hasn't stopped us from being slaughtered in the street. What does it mean? Nothing. A citizen doesn't get treated that way.
Well, I was going to add on about legislation, right? The wild thing about legislation of a law is that usually there's a problem, right? And somebody wants to solve the problem. And so they submit it, and they're doing this in order to get some sort of funding in order to cause change. And the thing black folks haven't realized is that money doesn't change a goddamn thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to see our people out here now doing a lot of different diverse work for our people to be in a better situation. But when you look at the opposite of doing something, the political structure ain't set up for it to be successful and revolting. So, and that's going as far as thinking you're gonna take it to the damn state capitol and these motherfuckers is gonna put you up, you know what I'm saying, for a funding cycle and stuff like that. The liberation ain't going to be funded in that manner, but that I was going to allude to relating to boycotting too, because when you're going to sign in a law, you're not going to get no law signed or made in our favor from boycotting a goddamn thing except for taking more shit away from us. So that's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying we need anything, but shit, let's be realistic. You know what I mean? Hitting a crack in the pocket, it's not even a reality. You know what I'm saying? I think the money thing is there's two sides to the money coin. You got the some people promoting economics, and then some people promoting defund the cracker. Well, the cracker funds, you can't defund the funder if you're receiving funds from them directly. And that's not saying that we wrong or right for being codependent in the system, but it's a situation we face with. You know what I'm saying? So I think just the two sides of the coin don't get brought up in a political conversation too. Like, you want to empower? We can't empower ourselves financially and think that that's going to change our situation politically. That shit works for crackers. It doesn't work for you. We don't have a political system or structure set up. And the thing is, it seems like this is just myself, I hear a lot of people wanting to do so, but they still want to imitate the crackers' approach towards creating some sort of political structure. So that in itself is some bullshit. It's not even. It ain't keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? If we gotta separate, we really gotta figure out how to separate and then not compromise the structure, because it shouldn't be familiar to the cracker to want to fuck with it.
Ashe.
Yeah.
I wanted to
damn this election.
I'm fine. So I wanted to throw in this Marcus Garvey quote as we talking about our current conditions and the vote. So Marcus Garvey asked, do they lynch Englishmen, Frenchmen, Germans, or Japanese? No, and why? Because these people are represented by great governments, mighty nations, and empires strongly organized, yes, and ever so ready to shed the last drop of blood and spend the last penny in the national treasury to protect the honor and integrity of a citizen outraged anywhere. Until the Negro reaches this point of national independence, all he does as a race would count for naught, because the prejudice that will stand out against him, even with his ballot in his hand and with his industrial progress to show, will be such of an overwhelming nature as to perpetuate mob violence and mob rule, from which he will suffer, which he will not be able to stop with his industrial wealth and with his ballot. You may argue that he can use his industrial wealth and his ballot to force the government to recognize him, but he must understand that the government is the people, that the majority of the people dictate the policy of governments, and that the majority is against a measure, a thing, or race, then the government is important to protect that measure, thing, or power.
It's like power.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sounds like the answer was with the no vote reality that it's all a game, along with the illusion of economic wealth.
I say, Garvey said you can have one in the other hand and one in the other, and they still ain't finna give a fuck. You know? So it's straight separation.
I say.
Ashe. And we've seen it. Was it not the 2000 election when they didn't count the votes? We seen a robbery happen right in front of us. They do any way they want to.
I think that's the one the Al Gore one with him and Bush.
Ashe.
Yeah, they were saying, people saying there's different reasons why they didn't, what happened with that. But the reason that they gave was because of the Electoral College. That was the reason. But even with that, being that is a loud reason, that's a legal reason, should be a cause for concern.
It's a violation of the Constitution at the end of the day. You know.
Awesome.
And you have a Supreme Court that ruled for the violation of that Constitution. Okay? And so, that's just one known, visible example. And then, watching that Dick Gregory joint again, found out about his situation when he ran. And that was in 1968. So if that was going down in 1968, they've been doing this shit all along on a national and a local level with no problem. Because we know the structure has not changed, even with a black face on it.
Ain't no telling what they be doing. So you know what? From what I've learned, they say the last so-called one that was actually voted in by the people was Andrew Jackson, and I think that was like the early 1900s. Was being since they let niggas start voting. They switched the game. You know, and even Dr. Khallid made the, he said about the block vote. That they came up with a law for that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, niggas should know that by now. Anytime we get to doing some shit that crackers been doing forever, nigga, the motherfucking rules get changed. So I found out the damn SWAT team was made especially for our ass. Goddamn, a whole nother fucking section. Goddamn.
That's used still to this day.
Well,
the first time a SWAT team used, you know what I'm saying? You get the goddamn, I'm throwing a blank right now. What's my dude, last man standing?
Then you get a robot bomb used on a nigga, aiming used on no nigga else in the U.S. on our ass. Supposedly. They gonna come up with a rule. The niggas think they gonna get around it.
And niggas keep trying to get around it. Because nigga gonna do everything he can to not have to come to the conclusion of what he gonna have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. What we gonna have to goddamn do. And when I know it sound crazy to niggas, because anytime I bring it up, motherfucker look at me like I done lost my goddamn mind. Don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? How many times they done fucked us over, time after time, or said this was, niggas still today telling the nigga to follow the law. Nigga, you know how many times they done changed that shit up for your black ass nigga? Nigga, that should be the last thing we should be telling niggas. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't trying to send niggas to jail shit, but goddamn, man, at the end of the day, man, they specifically made by 80% of them motherfuckers for your black ass. Yeah. All you gotta do is go look at the Mississippi Black Code. You find all kind of goddamn laws that these hoes never took off the books for your black ass.
Like power.
And a nigga want to tell a nigga to still be a law-abiding. Fuck that law-abiding shit, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Gotta be like that. It have to be that attitude. I'm not telling you go out here and be stupid, but it have to take the attitude of, man, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Goddamn, man. I mean, we try this way. You say that's for now that's a goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I see with this last protest, they try to arrest the brother because he got a goddamn gas mask. Well, goddamn, I wouldn't need the gas mask if you hoes weren't out here throwing gas. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Which motherfucking law do you want me to? Which law do you want me to abide by? Shit, they said 3/5. They said your black ass was 3/5 of a man. That was a law. Was you a law-abiding citizen if you ain't follow that shit? It was law to have your ass enslaved in the. You know what I'm talking about, nigga.
And
them hoes was following the law when they was goddamn enslaving, whooping your ass. When they was whooping your ass, cracking that whip on your black ass. They was following the law. Because the law told them, nigga, you feel me, that nigga, if you discipline a slave, in the midst of, and you kill them in the midst of discipline, nigga, it's all right.
Just like now, what it's time. They were correcting you.
That's right.
You hear the brother, you hear the nigga blatantly come across the TV and say he want more, stop the frisk. Nigga, what the fuck?
Which is a violation of the Constitution. Again, so he's with this. We've seen this before in history. They did this when they ended the Reconstruction period.
I say.
They can't go to sleep because it's been more than 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all. But they're making moves, as they've been doing. You know, Brother Tim, you had said something that had, I don't know if the family got to also peep Dr. Walter Williams' discussion on are we citizens? And, you know, what he says is valid. When you look at the 14th Amendment, right, the 14th Amendment is 1868.
Point.
Yes.
Okay, you start fading.
I'm sorry. 14th Amendment is 1868, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's after the Civil War. That's to appease us, so to speak, right? Saying that, you know, if you're born here, you a citizen, boom, 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 you got rights, whatever. But the thing is this. It never says enslaved Africans or Africans or blacks or Negroes or, you know, Negroes from the continent of Africa. It never says that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing to say that for a cracker beast to come about in the position of power. It's saying that, you know, our enslavement never ended and using the military to, you know, bring it back. Yeah, thank you. Yes. We know the 15th Amendment didn't mean nothing in 1870, the right to vote, because we wouldn't have to have the 1964, right? Was that 1965?
I say.
So we know it don't mean nothing. And we know that the way we have been treated by this government, down to the local, being murdered in the streets, means absolutely nothing. We're not citizens. So voting is a joke anyway, because they know our shit don't count.
That shit don't mean shit.
They playing with us to appease us, you know, to keep us in this condition here, okay? Because, you know, Brother Malcolm had his speech, Ballot or the Bullet. And Dr. Khallid Muhammad comes in 1996. That was 1964, Brother Malcolm. Dr. Khallid Muhammad come with, you know, Bullet or the Bullet. And we in 2016, and our position needs to be no vote, revote. That's where our psyche needs to be. That's what we need to be building towards. Every aspect of our lives.
I say. Shit. I feel like it shouldn't even be no question. And if Malcolm asked that question 50 years ago, Dr. Khallid asked the question down there 20, 30 years ago, down there 20 years ago, nigga. You know, I'm off with the time. But, goddamn, if they asked them questions too, and they gave your ass a choice, today in 2016, we shouldn't even be giving it no other option, nigga. It's the bullet, nigga. Or nothing, nigga. Fuck, ain't no or, nigga. Y'all done put us in a position where we goddamn really can't. We don't have no other option, but we can't afford to give none, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It just got to be like that, man. Our people today that still having faith in this government, man. Like, they don't know how much goddamn. Look, man, politics is supposed to determine who gets what and when. That's what they say. Who gets what and when, right? Okay, well, goddamn, nigga, if our people been consistently never getting shit, what the fuck that tell you that politics doing, man? It ain't doing shit. Shit. It ain't doing shit for your black ass. So goddamn, niggas gotta goddamn go on and leave that shit alone. Right now, where we at, right in the position we in today.
Ashe. Got to answer the call. Both of the ancestors were saying the same thing at the end of the day. Separation and revolution, you know. At the end, you know, that's what they were saying. That was bottom line. And what I loved about Brother Malcolm's speech in 1964 was his fearlessness. His fearlessness in the face of what many of our people today even say, how mighty this government is in terms of weaponry, and I'm not denying that. But Malcolm was like, and what? So what? Okay, because, you know, he gave examples in history where it just did not fucking matter. The people said, so fucking what? We gonna
one
throw
of the main ones he gave, I remember, when he talked about, nigga, how can these niggas with all these machineries and shit get whooped by a nigga with a bowl of rice in the machine?
Black power.
Black power, man. These niggas out here all day thinking about, and he also said one thing that I thought of. I said, damn, that nigga so right. All the motherfucking white boys that came back from that shit was plumb out they motherfucking mind. Was scared out they goddamn mind. That shit had tore their ass up mentally, man. All the niggas came back from that Vietnam shit. Mentally, them niggas was done. So we don't know what kind of shit them boys were putting on their ass. Hey.
Ashe.
Oh, I got one more. Sorry, quote. He did this one about statesmen, and I think it's still about the same as a government appointed. Okay. It says Negro status under alien government. Within modern times, the Negro race has not had any real statesmen. The masses of our people have always accepted the intentions and actions of the statesmen and leaders of other races as being directed in our interests as a group in conjunction with the interests of others. Such a feeling on our part caused us to believe that the Constitution of the United States was written for Negroes, as well as the Constitution of England, France, Italy, Germany, and other countries, where Negroes happen to have a present domicile either as a citizen or as subjects. That we suffer so much today under whosever flag we live is proof positive that constitutions and laws, when framed by the early advocates of human liberty, never included and were never intended for us as a people. It's only a question of sheer accident that we happen to be fellow citizens today with the descendants of those who, through their advocacy, descendants laid the foundation for human rights. So this brings us to the point where, as a people, we can expect very little from the effort of present-day statesmen of other races and their plans as far as advantages to be derived there from our. I'm sorry, y'all. The page moved. Okay, let me start over. Okay, so this brings us to the point where, as a people, we can expect very little from the efforts of present-day statesmen of other races, and that their plans are laid only in the interest of their own people and not in the interest of Negroes. Hence, it is imperative that Negroes as a people evolve just at this time a statesmanship sufficiently able to cope with the designs and movements that are being made that will ultimately mean our doom and destruction.
Black power.
Black power.
And that's what we've seen, as a whole, our doom and our destruction.
I'll show. The same thing 100 years ago. Well, over 100 years ago. Nah, about 100. With Marcus Garvey. He was telling niggas a long time ago it was bullshit. 1920. Right around the time when they say we started dying to vote. Marcus Garvey say, don't do that shit.
Black power.
Black power.
And what do? It's sad because you have, at the same time, Marcus Garvey saying that, you got other voices saying just the opposite.
And they like, no, in a way I can see, our people probably thought that was going to make them equal. They want to be equal. So, what I'm saying, want to do whatever the cracker do. He vote, I want to vote. I want to be free. You know what I'm saying? And just not having that political education. Because even now, like I think the brother said before, we don't really know. The only thing we know to go do is go vote. That's it. We don't know nothing that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And it really political brought me into the knowledge. It's being real. It wasn't African history. It just, set me on my path. It was me learning about, the fuckery of the U.S. that made me, I know it's something better than this. True. We can't vote our way out this shit. By the time I finished that semester, and then I was doing state government. So I'm learning about, how to, do the voting and stuff on a state level here in Texas. So I don't know. Nick can't tell me nothing about we can be effective on the state level. I don't think so. Not from what I've seen.
Black power, and that is excellent that you have that knowledge because you can share that, you know what I'm saying, with the family, you know, seeing the fuckery.
Yeah, like I was saying about the lobbyists and you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff where it's just basically money. Whoever got the money, that's how you shut people out. The people who don't have. And it's even like that, even with the judges and all that, real corrupt. You know what I'm saying? How they trying to saying that we can go in there and we can, you know what I'm saying, switch the laws to, you know, where they don't fuck with us and all that. But hell, that's how they make their money. Think they finna change that shit?
Okay, now. Shame.
I mean, they allow lawyers to put money on judges' campaigns. So you can put money to help a judge get in, the one you want. You don't think that's going to earn any favors?
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot. Peace and Black Power. I'm gonna pass the mic.
Black Power. I think, you know, it shows that we are naive about how real politics work. You know, it's just like the criminal system. It's always going to be unfair to the African who, as per the law and in their eyes, in enemy eyes, is not a citizen. They still mad that we not in chains, that they even have to work. You know what I'm saying? And we're not given the information to see that the people before us are the worst of the worst. I mean, Brother Course had mentioned how, you know, Trump is running on the fact that he's a businessman. Well, Trump as a businessman has filed for bankruptcy 4 times. When Hillary was the senator for the state of New York, black communities took an incredible hit, particularly Harlem, while we were being murdered in the street, while stop and frisk was going on. What did bitch do about it? Nothing. We got hospitals, public school systems that closed while she was the senator of a state that she wasn't even born in. That it was crazy how that the bitch was even elected. I'm ashamed that I'm even living in a state that let that go down on some real shit. So, how many of our people know about their raping of Haiti? You got our people still calling that no good racist cracker Clinton the first black president, or acting like it was good when he was the president.
Disgusting.
Okay.
And Queen, you I wanted to throw in there about the when he turned his back on that slaughter that was going over there in Africa. Wasn't it the Husis and the Tutsis or something like that?
Yeah, Rwanda.
Yeah. Bill Clinton, you know what I'm saying? You know, normally America be all up in everybody's motherfucking business. But I'm watching the video and they showing that the troops just leaving up out of there while the slaughter going down.
What could send troops for the crackers in Bosnia? Now, when you had the Bosnia-Croatia thing, that they could intervene on. But the slaughter of Africans, nope. And we see that right now, going on in Nigeria, for an example, right? They can't do nothing.
Right. Uh-huh. They kill each other and we take the land. Take the land and the resources.
Exactly.
You know,
So good crap.
Man, I'm just sitting back listening to y'all queens, man. Y'all killing their ass tonight, man. Black Power.
Black Power.
Power.
And then and if you hear that, I know we ain't on that part yet, but I like the way Dr. Khallid answered that question at the end. Because I think I always cut it off because I can't never hear questions. But did you hear that? When old boy was like, when he asked Dr. Khallid, how we gonna get money for bullets? And then Dr. Khallid started going in. Anybody listen to the end of the bullet? Oh, we're gonna have to play that.
Wow. Brother Boy still on the line?
Yeah, I just say that for so y'all can hear his response. That's
who was playing it?
That's for weak ass Killer Mike too.
I say.
Oh, silly Mike, I forgot. Took the kill off his name last week. Oh, Brother Boylan got off, I guess.
Was y'all playing? I kind of came in late. Was y'all playing clips from the video? I mean, from the lectures?
Yeah. No, we did. But I missed the first one. I know they did one on Malcolm. I came in on the Khallid not quote video.
Well, Queen, if you want to play it, play it. You know what I mean? I think it's necessary.
Okay, y'all give me a second so I can find it.
While the Queen is doing that, Brother Tim and whoever else on the line, we can get engaged further on why. If you think we should vote, if you believe in voting, why you do, and if you don't, why you don't. For me, I'm going to state my position again. We have seen it has done absolutely nothing for our people. We have witnessed our people being slaughtered in the streets when finally, in our minds, we got a black savior as the president, which, was supposed to be mission impossible in this slave state or country. And we see that it doesn't matter. The same way it didn't matter prior to him when you had black men and women elected in local offices, elected in national offices. It didn't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. That's the bottom line. And if they want to shut it down, we have the Reconstruction period to see how they will shut it down, and then we have our own time period to see how they morph that, how they will use setting you up. When you think that you can do the same thing as they do, bending here and there, they will then use the law and say, no, that's illegal. And we've seen how black elected officials have went down that way. Black elected officials that have done something, tried to give back even a playing field with their people in this racist society of it being white privilege, like that Mayor D.C. Barry, and what's his name? Marion Barry, how they came at him. So they will handle you. And the new way is not to come with the guns and pull you out of office that way or out of the sheriff position. You have that black sheriff of Atlanta in Georgia who was murdered, who had associations with Dr. Khallid Muhammad and automatics. Nobody knows to this day how it happened. It don't, ain't nothing changed. And the thing that we have to now do is change. You know what I'm saying? We have to get real, and we have to take the clothes off the emperor, make this racist society appear right before our eyes for what it is, and how this society has always viewed us as not being human, as being nothing more than means of making money and living well and wanting to keep it that way. Black power.
I'll say.
And then we have to do it in the name of the ancestors that have been murdered. For those who want to talk about, those that have sacrificed so that you have the right to vote. In the name of their sacrifice, we have to say, to hell with the vote. We know it's an illusion. It's because of them being murdered and sacrificing their life that we bold enough to say we're not playing this motherfucking game. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry that they wasn't able to see it then, but as their children, we see it now.
I'll say. That's just one of the things that, out of all the other things that our ancestors died, a lot of them sacrificed, a lot for us, and it's just the only thing you want to pick up and do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of them, when they was passing away, was sure hoping that it'd be revenged. Niggas don't want to think about that. What about those that died for that? With that on their mind.
Black power.
Because I know that would have been on my mind. That shit embarrass you even more. But family, I'm not for sure if because sometimes the videos don't play loud. So I'm gonna play it. If y'all can't hear it, then somebody else might have to play it. Let me see. Can y'all hear it? Well, he ain't talking. Somebody, he doing a push. Okay, can y'all hear it?
I say.
And if it comes to that,
It's already past that. But if it comes to that, he said, where are we going to get bullets? He said, we don't manufacture no bullets. Where are we going to get bullets? My brother, I respect your question. But I must say to you, when I hear a question like that, it is a question that is from a position of lack of confidence. It is almost from a position of weakness. It is true the white man makes the guns and he makes the bullets. And it is equally as true that my subject, the bullet or the bullet, didn't just deal with a physical bullet, but it dealt with standing up, fighting on all fronts, as I said, and not depending so much on the old things that have already failed us. So the bullet or the bullet in one sense was a metaphor, but in another sense, it was literal. We can always get bullets, brother. We can always get guns, even if it's from the body of our enemy. There's so many guns, I don't have to go out and tell black people to arm themselves. Black people are already armed. I just get sick of these Negroes, Reverend James Bevel, some of these other Negroes running around the country talking about turn in your gun for a Bible or a Holy Quran. Now, what young brothers are going to come in and give their gun up for a Holy Quran or give their gun up for a Bible? Some of these other sick Negroes telling black people to turn in their guns for some Power Ranger tickets. Turn in your guns so you can go see the Knicks play. Are you serious? I don't have to tell black people to arm themselves. Black people's nature and the God of nature, and the first law of nature dealing with self-defense and self-preservation under these conditions will dictate to you what is necessary. But let's go even further. It is not the gun in and of itself that wins the war. The French white man, the British white man, and the American white man fought the Viet Cong. Little people, some of them not even 5 feet tall. Huh? They didn't have any great airplanes, great tanks, great jets, great bullets, great guns and artillery, but they had the determination to be free. And so when the French white man went in with all of his armory and his guns and his manufacturing of all of that, they beat the hell out of the French white man and drove him out in shame and disgrace. When the English white man went in, they beat the hell out of him and drove him out in disgrace. And when the American white man went in, he tried to bomb them back into the Stone Age. And so they built underground cities, underground tunnels. He dropped tons and tons of napalm and bombs on them on a daily and a nightly and a consistent basis. They built underground cities, got off the top of the ground and went underground. They had a determination to be free. They cut crackers' throats with the metal from crashed airplanes. They took the cracker's own weapons and killed him with his own weapon the way David took Goliath's sword and cut Goliath's head off.
Hold up, it's rebooting.
With his own sword.
What the hell?
Black Power.
Like, it's rebooting.
They had suckers scared to death. They built and made all kinds of traps and
I don't want to play now. I'm trying to get him to the part where he started going in.
that created psychological fear and
Yeah, it ain't gonna do right. Yeah, but Dr. Khallid was like, He said he get tired of hearing men say that we outnumbered, that they got more guns than us. He was like, so what? If your woman is in the house getting raped by a bunch of men and you only got one gun, you're not gonna go in there and try to defend your woman. And he was like, ladies, if you got a man like that, you don't even have a man. He started going in. But my computer rebooting, so it's not gonna play it.
But Black Power to it, what you played thus far, I think needs to be heard. Because I know I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the defeatist attitude that we can't win. You got the determination, you can do a lot of things. And what he's showing is with determination, the will, against all odds, you can succeed. And that's what the Vietnamese did, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm. And then from the movies, you would almost think that they won it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that we lost the war until recently. That's another thing about it. Is that that's a secret that, you know what I'm saying, that they keep. Went over there messing with some people. Did anybody else get that taking school history that, that the war was won?
Ashe. Definitely. They definitely give that lie out there. But, we dealing with lies, Queen. They ain't going to never admit when they caught it now, especially when they still right. They have control of the message.
I was just thinking, make you wonder how much, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling how much stuff that they done lied about. The scale. The scale of lies. Especially since we've been in the dark. But, I won't be voting ever. I mean, even if they put another black candidate in there, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm not going to even, I don't even want to waste my energy standing in line to even do. I'd be doing something else constructive with my time. But, I'm gonna say good luck to those who still want to do it. I give you my good luck. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you can, hit them like that, then, that's on you.
I say, if you don't mind continuing to, walk in circles or, be like a dog chasing his tail, go ahead. I choose to get off the ride.
I say. And I had an article I think my internet just messing up. It won't let me get to the article now. I'm trying to get the one on, the title was a false promise of black political representation. And what it was doing, it was giving some stats. I was trying to get to them stats that it's giving. Okay, I can. Give me a second to find it.
I love the title of that already, Queen. You could throw that at the Hangouts. That would be wonderful.
Okay. Okay. I can read a few paragraphs from it.
I say.
Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to be in the middle. One answer is that the appearance of black political clout is deceiving. Despite their gains in participation and representation, blacks continue to far worse than whites in converting their policy preferences into law. This poor performance is more revealing than statistics on turnout or black electoral success. And even though its causes remain mysterious, it is very much a rationale for frustration with the status quo. In a recent study, I analyzed group political power at the federal and state level. At the federal level, I relied on a remarkable database compiled by the Princeton political scientist Martin Glenn's. Okay, let me get to the... Okay, here we go. At both levels, I found that blacks hold much less sway than whites. For example, a federal policy with no white support has only a 10% chance of being enacted, while one with universal white support has a 60% shot of adoption. But while a proposal with no black support has a 40% chance of becoming law, one enjoying unanimous approval has only a 30% probability of enactment. In other words, as support for a policy rises within the black community, the odds of it being achieved actually decline. Okay. I think that's about the important parts. So basically what he's saying is even once you have elected your person of choice, once they get in there with policies that will benefit our community, it gets shot down. And that brings it back to what Marcus Garvey was saying, that the majority rules. And shit, the government, they not about to, you know what I'm saying, they not about to level the playing field. I try to explain this to people that, you know, as far as us getting equality, that's not about to happen. He ain't about to, you know what I'm saying, the white man is not about to share his power with us. That on no level. That's not about to happen. That's just what's up. It can't be two men in the house. That's what I say. How that gonna work?
Black power. Word.
Like,
Queen, you know, couldn't be been stated beautifully. It cannot be two men in the house. Okay? And it's not an accident that it's called the White House for a reason.
sure. And even with, you know, with Obama being up in there, now I made the mistake of thinking, you know, well, I just voted for him because he was black. I ain't gonna front. Now, I did I did that first time. Vote for him because he was black. And but this nigga here, this nigga done went in here and just fucked up some shit for. I can't get over this gay shit and this transgender shit. He done went in here and did. Now I could have forgave all the other shit he done did, but I can't forgive the marriage shit and and now he talking about pulling funds if you don't let people use the bathroom that they identify with.
Yeah, I saw that, Queen.
And then in public places and stuff. So we see what happens right there, even when you try to vote somebody in that look like you. That just ain't gonna work. And I think if it's somebody that's really gonna go in there and do for us, they not gonna vote them in anyway. I mean, they wouldn't even make it. Just being real.
They will find a way, whether it's a murder or a setup using their criminal system. They'll get them out.
Yep.
Because it's within the system. The system is designed to keep white supremacy alive.
I say, and then even with that, as far as trying to implement policy, you're not gonna be able to do it. You gotta have the support of the people. Crackers ain't finna do that.
But Queen, and I say that's an illusion. You don't have to have the support of the people. There is a selected ruling class of white racist people who select the figurehead for that power structure, the face of the power structure, of their power, of their rule. At the end of the day, they will select who they want. I don't give a fuck who the people vote for. And the Dick Gregory revelation of what happened with him in 1968 is proof of that. And then forget that, 2000 is proof of that. People make an argument about 2004, what happened with the black boxers up in Ohio. So.
I was meaning the other Congress people when they pull up a policy, not the actual citizens. I guess I should have said that better. But you know how it go, you know what I'm saying? However it go, the Senate or the House, you know how they vote on a particular policy.
I see what you're saying, Queen.
Yeah, basically what you just said. If they put their forerunner in there, and then that's who do everything. Who they pay to do what they want to do. Because I don't really think you make, if I remember right, I don't think you make that much money in certain positions. Now, maybe up there with the House, maybe so, but I think state level, I don't think you make a lot of money doing certain political positions. So I know they getting paid, like, under the table, like to do what they do. They were saying some of them, it's like a part-time job where they not even employed, you know what I'm saying, every day. It's not a everyday job. So they got to get money from, you know what I'm saying, other ways.
Ashe. Family, I'm going to say Black Power. Hodie.
Black Power. Are you going to jump on out, Queen?
Yeah, I'm going to jump on out for a minute.
Okay. All right, I'm full of. Okay, I'm going to throw that article in there in a second. See if anybody have anything else to say. anybody else on this line. I ain't heard nobody about 15 minutes. All right, well, I'm going to put the rest of this, that Dr. Khallid back on in a minute when my computer turn back on. And should I just leave that on there till somebody come on the show?
Queen?
Yes, Queen. I'm still here. I'm trying to put this I was gonna put this video back on. Nobody has said anything, so I don't even know if anybody else is online. So I was just gonna throw the video on. The playback.
What, Dr. Khallid Muhammad?
I was gonna throw that back on. My computer shut out.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Let me see if it'll finish playing from where I had it at a minute ago.
David took Goliath's and cut Goliath's head off with his own sword. They terrorized crackers. They had crackers scared to death. They built and made all kinds of traps and contraptions that created psychological fear and terror in the mind of the cracker. This cracker is a punk.
Damn. When you think you'll be able to play it?
This cracker is a system. This cracker bombs black churches and kills black babies and attacks unarmed, handcuffed black men and women. What would this cracker do if you stood up and fought this cracker? If you stood up and fought this cracker, yes, we'll lose some lives. Damn it, I might be the first to die, but so what? It's the price of freedom. You just want to quote freedom. You just want to talk revolution. But you don't want to walk the walk when it's time to walk the walk. Look at it. A Milcog abroad in Guinea-Bissau. He said, well, people don't have the weapons of the European oppressor. He said, but our will and our determination to be free will make us free. So they fought the cracker, the European, and a Milcog abroad was able to gain freedom and independence in Guinea-Bissau. Read Frantz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth. Read of revolutionary struggle all over the earth. Read of Sajifo Kwame Nkrumah's revolutionary warfare. Read, study other wars. I hate to hear a black man say, we outnumbered. They got more guns than we got. Oh, black woman, you in trouble when you got a black man talking like that. You mean to tell me that your woman is in a house being raped by 20 men and they got 20 guns and you ain't got but one gun and you gonna just go and cry and leave her in there being abused and misused and say, they got more guns than I got. I can't go in there. If you got a man like that, God damn it, you ain't got no man. Might as well get rid of him. You ain't got enemy out. That's a real man. And if it comes down to it, a real man is willing to give his life for his women and his children and his people and his nation. Necessary, a real man, if it comes down to it and he can't get out. The nature of revolution. Real man is willing to blow up the whole goddamn house. Say you got her, I love her, but all of you will die. You won't do another black woman like that. The price for revolution. What will you do to be free? That's the question. Malcolm used to say, you want to know when you'll get free? You'll get free when you let your enemy know that you're willing to do anything to be free. You're willing to do anything to be free. If your enemy can judge how far you'll go, if your enemy can set up the terms of war from the Hague, from the United Nations, Malcolm said, take your case before a world court. That world court is controlled by the white man. One white woman, one white man, Albright, Fulbright, whatever the cracker's name is, can go and cast one veto vote and strike down everything that came up. One white woman. What's the other terms of international war, this conference and that conference? You can't let your cracker determine for you war. So, my brother, I know we're outnumbered, but I don't understand. Are we saying don't fight because he got more guns than us? Are we saying we can't fight because he'll kill us? He's killing us anyway. At least fight back. You can't just die. Yes, sir. And the suffering and the low-down life of the black man and woman. They speak to our condition at the grassroots level, in the muck, in the mire, and in the mud. Not to just be attacked. If you sit and if you stand in the pulpit that Adam Clayton Powell Jr. stood in, Adam Clayton Powell characterized himself in his words as the baddest nigger in Congress. The baddest nigger in Congress. That's what he said. He said, keep the faith, baby. Don't panic. Tupac said the same thing. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. But for butts and a few other butt-licking, boot-licking, buck-dancing niggas, somebody has to call these niggas out. But some of you are so connected to them, or you want something from them, or you want favor from them, or you want to be recognized by them. If you don't stand up for the liberation of our people, then the hell with any nigga. I don't care who he is or where he is, the hell with him, if he won't stand up for the liberation of our people. If we touch the hearts and minds of the rappers, they could create a revolution overnight. Overnight. Literally. Overnight. But to attack them and put them down. Talking about the language that they use. When you're acting like what they're talking about. But to the youth who are under the sound of my voice, you too have a responsibility. You do have a responsibility to wake up, clean up, and stand up. Give liberation lyrics to our people that will uplift them and not degrade them and put them down. going down. So to our young brothers and sisters, don't try to pattern your life. You're criticizing the Bucks and the other Toms. But at the same time, you're trying to be like the Italian gangster. You gangster rap. You dress like Al Capone. You dress like some other cracker, some Jew gangster, some Italian gangster. You're not a gangster. You are the very people of God. Trying to look like some damn criminal from Italy, some mafioso, some Italiano boy. Look like fools on TV, dressed up in all of this mess. You diss black designer. You don't want to wear clothes from your black designer. You wearing Tommy Hilfiger. You wearing polo because you've been so damn poor and you've been living so damn low until you don't want to do nothing to pick yourself up and do something for yourself and give proper direction and guidance to the masses of your people who yearn to breathe free. This is the year of the bullet or the bullet. You ain't got a whole lot of more years to keep going over and over, round and round with this same thing, trying to decide on which peck of wood is going to be the lesser of two evils. I talked to a Muslim brother today from the Nation of Islam who was telling me that he was going to vote for Clinton. He said,
all right, Black Power fam, I got to get off.